So let's move into the yin practice. And we always begin with the square pose. So let's start with our right leg on top of our left. So we're sitting with our hips squared forward, root is balanced, bringing that right leg to stack on top of the left. Now, if it's difficult to line up the legs, we know that we can lay that right leg in front of the left. You can also just choose to cross the right leg over the left. So adjust it in any way that feels good for you. The hips and the knees will square forward. The toes will be pointing forward. And we're going to just softly sit here for a moment, closing the eyes, relaxing in to the seat. Let it drop deep with the root grounding, lengthening up through the front of the spine with the chin over your heart, and breathe. Good. Exhale and slowly, gently begin to hinge forward from the crease of the hips. And when you find that sensation, you can use your hands for guidance and support. When you find the sensation that feels right for the practice today, then allow yourself to just curl in with your shoulders rounding, your head hanging down between your arms. And open through the back of the spine. You can even get a little more comfortable. If you can go further, you can drop your forearms and elbows down. Good, and just hanging here with your head soft and loose, taking any pressure off of the back of the neck. You should be feeling a stronger, more intense sensation to that right side, into the right hip. And let your low back release and breathe. Very good. One more breath. Good. And then we'll very gently curl our way up. Lift your heart. Just pause for a moment, feeling the difference that you've created. And then we can move to the other side. So now stacking our left leg on top of our right or in front. Knees, hips will square forward. Spine is long and strong and straight. Take a nice big breath in. Good. Exhale and slowly hinge forward. From the crease of the hips, walk the hands out. Ease down, lower the elbows and forearms if it feels right. Let the head hang. Breathe into the low back. Feel it in the left hip. Breathe into that. Waking up our hips. Focus on the breath. Deep, mindful breathing. Just one more breath in. Nice, long, meditative breath. And slowly, gently curl up, slide the hands back, pull up, lift the heart. Beautiful. Let's bring our legs now out in front. Extend your legs straight out. Good. So we'll sink the back of the knees. Your feet will flex, so the toes will turn up. Bring your hands towards the very top of your thighs. Breathing in, lift, lengthen, chin over the heart. Exhale, softly slide the hands down along the top of the legs and ease forward from the crease of the hips. And then you'll find a nice sensation beginning to rise up, and be present to that. And just allow yourself to feel that sensation, and also know that this is the place in this pose where you can relax into it a bit. Curving your spine. Let your shoulders roll in, let your head drop forward. And play with the edge if you need to. You can go a little further. And just marinate in the pose. And with this yin practice, there's three main components that will always flow through it, and something to remember as you're holding, as you're here in this moment. It's your breath, it's the sensation, and it's time. It's giving time, staying longer in the pose to see what's just beyond whatever sensation you're feeling. And without releasing from the pose when something unpleasant arises, you could just ease out a little, softening it, but staying in the pose and exploring where it might take you. That's the beauty of that yin practice. It gives us this time to really get comfortable, get familiar with the sensation. And with our head softly just hanging down between the arms, we release the low back. We release in the neck as well. And we'll hang here. Let's just hold it for 3 more deep sounding breaths. So come all the way as deep as you can with that inhalation. And just lengthen out as far as the exhalation will take you. Make it mindful. Let it be the meditation. There. And then soft and gentle, slide those hands back up the tops of your legs. Good. Bend your knees. Press your feet into the floor. And let's use our arms for support as we lower down. We're going to move into a resting pose for just about a minute. Letting our knees softly fall in, our hips open, palms turn up. Giving our hips a nice external rotation, and let's just breathe. Very good. Your next breath in, we can just wiggle those feet back. Lift the knees up. Press your hands on your kneecaps. Sink the knees in towards your body and just rock your spine side to side. Move with the good. And then we just roll to one side. Ease our way up. And let's come up into a nice table pose to begin. Just transitioning, this table pose will be the transition. So with our hands grounded beneath our shoulders, we'll just warm up the spine a bit with a little bump of the hips side to side, warming up the low back. Bring it back to center. We can curl the spine up as we tuck the chin and tailbone under. Good, and then lift up with our nose and chin and tailbone. Let the belly sink. Perfect. And then let's come back to a flat spine. Just walk the hands back slightly. Come up onto our knees for a moment. And then with our right leg, slide it forwards. The right foot comes forward. Good. And you're going to place your hands to either side of your right foot. If it's difficult to connect your hands to the floor, you can always place them to the top of your knee. So there's a way to modify with this. Either way, just begin to slide back a little with that left knee. Not too far back where it's straining you, but you want to feel a little sensation and a nice opening in that left groin and hip area. We're going to breathe in, lifting the heart, looking forward. Good. Relax the face. This is a dragon pose, so just allow yourself to settle in with the sensation that's arising with your breath and be present to what you're feeling. Very good. Perfect. Let's hold it here for about 2 more deep sounding breaths. Take that breath all the way to the top. Exhale it all the way out. Nice and long. Don't cheat yourself on that nice, beautiful breath. Go as deep as you can. Perfect. And then before we move to the opposite side, we're going to exhale back and slide the hips back and straighten and open the right leg. So the heel is grounded. Hands to either side. Take a bow. Hold it forward. And then let's softly slide it back. Good. Come back up onto our knees. Left foot and leg sliding forward. With that left knee directly over your heel, hands to either side of the left foot or on top of the knee. And the right knee can slide back just a bit. Lift the heart, dragon pose, look forward and open. And breathe. Face relax. Feeling a gentle pull in that right groin. That should be a welcomed opening. Just breathe it in. Very good. Couple more breaths. Nice and mindful with our breath. And then we'll release, but before we do, let's extend and open the left leg, lift the foot, heel, pressing deep, folding over that extended leg. Sink the head down. Perfect. And then we'll just slide it back. Press our hands to the floor. Good. And we'll do a little hip bump side to side, nice and loose. Feel the opening, feel the shift. Enjoy the space. Perfect. And then we'll just widen out with our knees along the edge of our mat. So that means you're just kissing the edge of the mat and lining up the tops of your calves, your shins, not your calves, to the edges of the mat. And on an exhalation, softly slide your hips back, sinking. Walk the hands forward a bit. And I find sometimes just lowering down with the elbows first for support and finding that right position. Sometimes you need to bring the feet in a little. So if you can't keep the tops of your shins lined up to the edge of the mat, that's okay. You can bring the feet in a bit to create some space to drop down with the roots, sinking your hips. And then allow the heart to press down. Drop your third eye into the floor. And the arms can remain extended straight up. You can also bring the arms to your sides and just let the shoulders curl round. So whatever feels right for you. And breathe. Loosening the hips. Good. Expanding in the low back. Just let it spread out and open the sacrum. Nice internal rotation to our hips in this frog pose. Take the time, feel the breath. Find your perfect balance of sensation, allowing you to hold this pose. The nice equilibrium of breath and mindfulness. Good. And on your next breath in, we're going to slide forward from frog, staying on the elbows and forearms for a moment. Walk the knees in slightly, and then slowly slide down, lowering your belly into the floor. Let's do a nice resting pose with our hands stacked one on top of the other. Let your toes turn in this resting pose. And just surrender. Soft and released. Scan over the body. Your attention be drawn to somewhere in the body where you're feeling it calling to you. Something that's open, something that wants your attention. Just flow with it. And in your next breath, let's lift up the lower legs. The knees will bend and just sway from side to side. Move your hips. And just roll the belly across the floor. So nice little transition as we move from this resting pose, drop the legs down, and let's move into our seal pose with our hands pressing to the tops of the mat. And the middle fingers will press right into the top corners. We're going to ground through the top of our knees and thighs and lift the heart, bringing the elbows and our forearms to the floor, lining them up with our shoulders. Good. Press the tops of the feet to the floor, widening out the feet slightly. Let's check in with the hips. Let's feel those hip bones grounding. Let the belly dissolve and tip up with that tailbone, pressing the belly deeper and lifting your heart. Look forward with a nice soft gaze and a dropping down of the shoulders. And breathe. Holding here and seal. Very nice. And you can remain in the seal with the elbows and forearms connected. You can also go a little deeper and extend the arms and lift the heart up. All the while, that tailbone will tip upward, the belly will ground deeper, creating a nice curve of the low back and a nice long slope to the spine. Relax the shoulders and relax your face and just breathe. Good. And at any point, you can always choose to drop your elbows down. So just take your time with that. You don't need to force anything. Very good. And we're going to hold it here for about 3 more breaths. So let's make some nice, noisy, mindful Ujjayi breaths as we hold it here. Let it become the meditation. Focusing on those touch points of the feet, the knees, the thighs, the hips, grounding the hands or elbows. And then also focusing in on what's lifted and what's expanding. Good. And then let's softly roll it down, sinking. Let's do a little resting pose on our belly. Stack one hand on top of the other. The toes can turn in, heels can flop out. Feel a nice softness in the low back here. This resting pose. And then release the hands. Let's press the hands beneath our shoulders. Rise up, lift the heart. Good. Let's come into a table pose for just a moment. Roll your spine. So moving in the opposite direction for a moment. Nice counter pose. Back to a nice flat spine. Lift up with the shins. Swing your legs side to side. Good. Just loosen in the hips. And then swing all the way over to one side. And just begin to walk the hands back and slowly lower down, keeping the legs over to the side. So we're going to do a little twist pose sitting up. mermaid pose, I call it, with the legs off to the left side. Let's bring our left hand to rest on the top of our right knee. Still grounding in the root, still lifting up through the front of your spine, and breathe up with that right arm nice and straight and strong, reaching up and lifting. And then exhale, lowering that right arm behind. Continue with the twist and the lift of the heart. Slowly look over your shoulder. Pressing the left hand onto the knee, deepening this twist. Good. Just breathe. Open. Holding it here about 3 breaths longer. Take your time. See if we can lift a little higher, twist a little deeper, finding that perfect sensation. Very nice. Exhale, slow and steady with a nice release. Good. Max knows it's time for relaxation soon. He's getting ready. Let's bring our legs around the front now. And let's move to the right side with both legs. Still grounding in the root with a nice strong and straight spine. The right hand will come to the top of the left knee. Let's stretch up with that left arm, reach it up. Exhale, sink your arm behind you, rounding. Look over that left shoulder, right hand pressing to the top of the left knee like a lever to deepen and cleanse. Look over your shoulder. Still lifting up through the spine, lift that heart, and then allow yourself to twist. As if you're wringing out a dish rag, wringing out those toxins, cleansing. Perfect. And let's hold it here for about 3 more breaths. Perfect. On that 3rd breath, when you exhale, just begin to unwind it. Good. And bring our legs around. Perfect. And we're going to move into our final resting pose. So just plant the feet to the edges of your mat. Knees are bent. Use your arms for support. And let's ease it down. Sinking. Good. And just let your arms come to your sides. Your palms will turn up. Knees fall in. Just hang here in this resting pose. You can always choose to roll your head side to side, giving the back of the head a nice massage as well. Very good. We'll just hold here for a couple more breaths. Just wiggling your feet in a bit, bring the knees up. Press in towards your body. Drop down one leg at a time. Extend your legs out. Nice resting pose. Toes turn out, your palms turn up. Good. And we'll just settle in to our Shavasana. So stay where you are. Backs of the knees sinking down and melting. Your hips and your spine dissolve, sinking the hollow of your throat. Let your eye sockets melt. Just let go and let be. Perfect, just as you are in this moment. Through love, all that is bitter will be sweet. Through love, all that is copper will be gold. Through love, all dregs will become wine. All pain will turn to medicine. That which is false troubles the heart, but truth brings joyous tranquility. And without disturbing your relaxation, just begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers and move and stretch in any way that feels good for you today. Maybe bringing your knees up towards your body. And wrap your arms around your legs, rocking your spine. Just massaging it. Rolling over to one side. And then slowly begin to ease your way up into a nice seated posture with our legs folded and our hands turned up and resting on our knees, with our index fingers connecting to the tip of our thumbs. And just close your eyes. Let your heart be open and spacious, and your mind is clear, still, and breathe. Next breath in, let's float those arms up, connecting the hands over the head, and sink down into your heart, honoring the light within. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Everyone, enjoy the sunshine. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Oh,
Thanks,
you.
Alex. Have a good weekend.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
See you next week.
You bet. Looking forward.